$200,000 a month. That is what Saamir is doing with this Clip Army and a simple coaching program for branded e-com. And today, I'll be showing you exactly how he's doing that one clip at a time. If you don't know me, I'm Preston Chambers. We help coaches and creators start and scale their own coaching programs. And I think our portfolio right now, we're at about $828,000 cash collected, probably a little bit higher than that as you're watching this video. But anyways, let's get into it. So as you can see here, I have this whole funnel mapped out. And obviously, you know, it's going to start with traffic because if no one's coming through the door, there's not going to be anyone to sell. And I always like to start off with IG just because it is the most versatile. It's super good and useful. And as you can see here, there's lots of different things that he's doing here. Let's start off with his pictures, which is just straight social proof, right? I mean, shit looks dope, right? He's got this crazy view right here, right? He's on a private jet. He's got some Lambos with a nice background. It's just tons and tons of social proof for people to join his mentorship because they see, bro, this guy is living like literally his life like GTA. Makes you want to join as well, you know? And on top of that, he leverages the stories very, very well. And on top of that, with his highlights, which I'm about to break down, but going to his stories, right, he pretty much posts three main types. This is kind of what I've seen from him after breaking down his funnel. Either his lifestyle, where it's like him being in a cool spot. Let me go to make this a little bit bigger for you guys, right? Right, so here's he's in Bali, and here he's in Dubai. And then he also has some student results as well, because he's like, that's super important. It's just showing your student results, showing them that everyday people just like you are, you know, making money, right? On top of that, just funneling people typically to his funnels. He actually just posted this story today at the time of me recording this video, right? If I threw an event in Miami for a bunch of ecom people, would you join? 200, 300 bucks. He basically is testing like, yo, would you guys join this? And obviously a lot are probably going to say yes. I screenshot this on computer. I'm not really on Instagram on my phone too much, but yeah. Three main types of stories that he's using. And stories are just a big lever because it's essentially like an email list. These people followed you. These people opted in. He has 210 people that the story is going out to. Now, are all of them going to see it? No. But he might get 20 to 40,000 story views depending on how dialed in the stories actually are. And it's just a super big lever because you can funnel them anywhere. You can show off your life. You can show student wins. Imagine 20,000 people seeing student results. 20,000 people seeing student results. That is crazy, right? 20,000 people, that's a lot of people. Next up is his reels. It's just a mix of kind of lifestyle content, kind of like, oh, look at my flashy lifestyle, and objection handling content. He does it really well. He has his content system dialed in here. And then, once again, on his highlights, right, just social proof and lifestyle as well. Kind of like I showed you here, it's just him going to different countries, right? Him, like, doing some charity work. And then him, you know, as well as, like, student results and results of his own. And then the lifestyle stuff here, just basically living GTA 6, right? So he does it really, really well. And then his bio's really crafted well as well, right? Right here, he has over $30 million made with ecom, DME brand to start, which I'll be showing you his DM funnel in a little bit. And then he has his free training here, which is basically a VSL, book a call funnel, which I'll be breaking down as well. And then, yeah, so overall his IG is pretty dialed. The only thing I guess I could say is really more funneling to YouTube and potentially, you know, dialing in the story sequences where it's like you follow the hook story offer framework, and then you make a sell to your audience. But, I mean, obviously it's working for them. So he's just got to keep on doing more and more and more. Obviously, you know, I can't really say too much without knowing their numbers. And he also does it pretty well because with his reels, I just want to say this as well so everyone knows, like he does DM CTAs. And here he's either going to funnel them to the free training, funnel them to his YouTube, or DM set them. That's really the three main things that you can do. So overall, it's super solid, just what he's doing here. He's got the traffic side dialed, at least on the Instagram, right? And he's following the content flywheel perfectly. He's funneling people, you know, to other platforms, and as well as using Instagram's versatile features here, using story sequences, link in bio, and, you know, doing inbound DMs as well. And he just overall does a good job at this. And yeah, let's go over to his YouTube right now. So he also has his YouTube dialed, 28,000 subscribers. That's a good amount of subscribers. He's posted lots of videos, and he does a nice mix of content, right? He follows the 3-2-2 content system to a T, right? Sometimes he does some, you know, day in the life, some top of funnel content, some challenges and stuff that are pretty fun to watch. Then he does middle of funnel, like answering questions about drop shipping. And on top of that, he does bottom of funnel, like doing student interviews, kind of like this one. So you got some good views for this student interview or another student interview here as well. And he can really just use those whenever people go into his funnel and stuff. So overall, it's really, really solid. No glaze. But yeah, and then he obviously just has his free training down here. And on top of that, something that is really good at what he's implementing is clippers. He has tons and tons of clippers. I know because I'm actually in their Discord community where essentially there's paying out clippers, and they work really, really well. They're actually better for ads on a view per pay ratio. How many views you get for how much money you put in, you get way more views. And it's all organic, which is really good because they're just going to funnel that content flywheel, right, where they can funnel all these clipping accounts to the YouTube, right, to the Instagram, get him tons and tons of followers, tons and tons of people to know, like, and trust him, and therefore tons and tons of people that have buying intent and that trust him into his funnel. Because that's key. You don't just want to load your funnel. You want to load the funnel with people that trust you and that have buying intent. That is the biggest thing, right? And they're not running ads right now, which, I mean, that's fine because they're running clippers, which is just a form, basically organic ads. So overall, super, super solid traffic situation. You can definitely take a lot from this, just utilizing Instagram how they do, having the YouTube dialed, and implementing clippers. And on the TikTok, they're just pushing that free training, which is just their VSL funnel, which I'm actually going to go ahead and break down now that we are out of the traffic section into the trust. There's a couple different funnels here, right? And on the VSL application for the TikTok ones, obviously they know what they're doing, but if I were them, I would definitely on this page be grabbing just name an email. So that way we can implement some email marketing and just build up a list, because these people that click on TikTok, they'd be willing to give their email for a free training. And then we can constantly warm them up. We can message them, but that's not really going on here, right? Maybe because they want to keep it simple or whatnot. But essentially, right, they have this VSL and they have the chapters, which is something that not a lot of people do. Let me make this a little bit bigger for you guys. But as you can see right there, they have the chapters. And actually, let's go right here. So it's like you can actually just go through and see what you want to see. And it's pretty interesting and it's pretty actually cool how they have these chapters. It's a really good way to do it, right? On Wistia, you definitely want to run the chapters because not everyone's going to watch your VSL, right? They're only going to watch what they want to watch, and then they're either going to leave the page or they're going to take action if they feel like it's for them. So the fact that they can skip around just makes it way easier, increases your play rate for sure. And then they have the application right here. They answer some common questions about why to build with them, right? As a beginner, there's no better business model to start. This is not your standard. They kind of throw rocks at their enemies here. And then you get to take all the good elements. You basically get all the good without all the bad, right? Show a little social proof picture right there, and then more social proof of wins, and then common objections, right? If you want to start your first successful business, right, this is for you. If you tried it in the past, you need help, blah, 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 and then boom. And all the buttons, just lead to the application. You click it, boom, application, and making sure they have funds to invest in themselves. So we do not want time wasters, right? That is the most annoying things when they hop on the call and they're like, oh, I thought mentorship was going to be $50. Like, no, do not book a call, right? We do not want those people. Obviously, they're going to slip through the cracks, but ideally we don't. And here's how their application works. So right away, do you have 10 hours or more a week? Right away, it's kind of similar to Cardinal Masons. That's kind of the vibe I got from this application, probably because it just works so well. But essentially, there's objection handling here, right? Making sure that they have enough time to do this, right? And then what's their goal? If they're trying to leave the 9 to 5, so the income, make money, or already doing e-commerce, it's kind of getting a gist of who they are. Their biggest struggle right here, they have them sell themselves in, which is okay. Yeah, it kind of depends. Sometimes you hear what you want to hear. It's an okay one, though. And then they grab the contact info right here, first name, last name, phone number, and then email, and then they qualify them financially. So how much are you making? How much do you have to put into yourself, right? And if they have less than 1,000, they get right here, maybe checking out if they can afford Afterpay. If not, there's no DQ page, no low ticket products, so maybe they're just not trying to split focus. I'm sure if they get lots and lots of DQs, maybe it's not worth their time. Maybe they have dialers dialing them. I'm not too sure. And then from there, right, they handle an objection with they might get this a lot, decision maker objection. And then will you watch the pre-call videos? Basically, will you get warmed up? From there, this gets sent to the calendar and they get sent to a page, right? They get sent to the VSL again, a student interview, and then they set the frame. It's an okay page, right? Nothing too crazy because these videos are kind of long. I'd maybe do the pre-call page a little bit differently. But if it works, right? I can't hate. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I'm talking about? So, yeah. And then the DM setting, right? Brands, yo, good to meet you. And then it's essentially just a little bit like, yo, one question. And then there's like, yo, how much do you have to put in to the mentorship? And then from there, they show some social proof. Say, hey, you actually need this much. I can make that work. And they send you the calendar, right? They're not trying to waste time. I'm pretty sure that this is not a DM setter at all. I'm pretty sure that this is, some niche automation. And wherever they book, they'll probably send me some pre-call assets inside of Instagram as well, right? But nonetheless, that's it. the main thing I would change is just two things, right? It's grabbing emails, because if we grab emails, like just because they're doing clippers, if we can start building up an email list, like a lot of people say like email's dead, blah, blah, blah. Email is a huge lever. And if they grab the emails, that'd be really, really helpful. Maybe switching up the pre-call page to just have a little bit better assets. But I'm going to kind of go over that right now, talk about excitement edibles, high trust consumables, and a ton of other stuff. So right when a lead books in, right, we want to call them within 5 minutes. This is a study done, I think by Harvard or HBR. Okay. But essentially, basically what it says was, if you contact them within an hour, they're 7 times likely to qualify the lead, just if you took over an hour, and 60 times if you took longer than 24 hours. Think of that. 60 times more likely. 60, at 60, not percent, times. Which means we need to hit these leads as soon as they book. ASAP, it's speed the lead here with the triaging. Are you doing the triaging? Qualifying them. Making sure that they didn't lie in the application, they're going to show up to their call, and they're going to watch the pre-call videos. That's essentially what you're doing here on the triage. From there, you're just going to throw them into a simple group chat with the creator and the closer, because they can ghost, the setter and the closer, but they're not going to ghost the authority. They will not ghost the closer. And the truth is, it's not really the closer. It's not really the creator. It's just like seen as that. Really, it's the setter behind the scenes. And then what the closer is going to do, they're going to have convo, build rapport, push the assets, excite them for the call. That's it. That's the whole point of the group chat. You're going to see kind of what questions they have before the call. Like, hey, so like how long does it typically take to, see profits from this brand? Typically it takes, 2 to 4 weeks. We have a video actually breaking it down more depth. You answer their question, you send them to more pre-call assets. And you get them excited for the call, because that's the whole point. If they're excited for the call, they're going to show up. And then excitement edibles, I love to use these, right? Basically, they're another word for high trust consumables. They take leads from, I'm kind of curious in this, I'm kind of interested in seeing what's good, to ready to buy, right? I have a whole SOP kind of breaking this down that I use for my clients. If, you want to see this full SOP, you can book a free one-on-one call with me. We can kind of go through it, see what your pre-call process is like. But essentially, we want to use 4 main consumables whenever we're sending it to these people. One is scientific studies. So these are studies that prove your claim. For example, $4.4 trillion industry. There's billions of dollars every single day being sold in e-commerce. That's why you need to join now, right? We have case studies, and these are third party as well, right? These are like third party because we're going to be a little bit biased regardless whenever we're talking about our brand. So they want to see someone that's unbiased. Next is case studies, basically just showing your product actually works, which they have right away, right? Where is it at? Yeah, it's right here, right? They have the case study right there. And on top of that, right, it's sales and trust assets. So pretty much it's handling common objections. Because what you can do is you can kind of see, okay, cool. What are the common objections we're getting on calls? Oh, time. Oh, this. Oh, that. Like, what are their fears, uncertainties, doubts? We can make videos handling that and send it to them. Like, boom. And then finally is brand assets. So it's essentially humanizing your brand and showing the vision for the company, showing that it's not just a cash grab, but this is an actual real brand of why we're actually doing this, right? And yeah, like I started this because I want to help other people. I want to have a big community of, people in e-commerce, wherever the case may be. And I like to do 5 to 6 emails a day, okay? You're probably shocked. You're like, whoa, 5 to 6 emails a day? What are you talking about? They are here for a reason. And before the call, we want to give them as much information as possible, because if we don't, they're going to go look for that information themselves, or they're not going to look at all. If they go look themselves, right, they might find some stuff that's good. They might find some stuff that's bad. We cannot control that. Or if they don't look at all, they're not even going to show up to the call. So whenever they're actually getting information, we want it to be information that shows that our product is actually good, that we are the guys to go with. Because if we go on Reddit right now, dropshipping gurus, right? And then they talk about their program, don't pay a dime. You do not need to pay 3,500 minutes to write these hits. This is the type of information that they are going to be seeing if you not give them information. Imagine your prospects are seeing, no, they're a scammer coming from a 7-figure dropshipper. Like, bro, what? That's fucking funny as fuck. But like, you see what I mean here, right? It doesn't make any sense. That's literally it, bro. And this guy's saying, no, don't buy mentorship. Mentorship is great. It's just Reddit is full of people that hate courses. And if you want your leads to be seeing this information, don't do this. But if you want to be making, $50K, $100K plus a month, you need to incorporate this. For SMS, I just do standard SMS reminders. Because like with SMS, it's just like pretty much just reminding them about the call. And this is just following the Google 7-11 rule. And I'm doing a scientific study on you because you see how well it works. Like, damn, this shit's backed by science, right? It is. It takes 7 hours of research. The research is them watching the content or them going on Reddit and seeing all the people saying that they hate courses. Your choice, right? 11 touch points. We get that within 2 days of emails, right? We get that from the Instagram content, from the YouTube content, from the emails, from the free training, etc. 4 platforms, right? YouTube. We're going to send them YouTube videos. Email. We're going to send them emails. Instagram or TikTok, wherever they came from. The actual funnel itself. Boom, 4 touch points. And we want just to make them as pre-sold as possible because your job is for whenever they pull to the sales call to be ready to buy. You want who's ever taking the closing call, whether it's you or a closer, to be card collectors. And like I said, if we don't give them the info, they'll go look themselves. So that is the trust section, right? It's basically you want to build not only trust, but buying intent. You want these leads to hop on the sales call, to trust your products, and to be ready to buy, right? That's how you use layered funnels, excitement edibles, etc., etc. Finally is the transaction, right? So here's how it goes. They show up to the sales call. They close. Cash collected, okay? Or they pull up the sales call, no close. You follow up with them, and then they eventually close, or they just never close, right? They end up just never closing. It is what it is. That happens sometimes, right? So we'll make this one dotted. Okay, so we got to look, right? Are they tracking their numbers? 100%. If you want to scale to 6 figures a month, you need to know your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, you're cooked. Straight up, you are cooked, right? And I mean, if we can look right here, they're definitely tracking all this. This is a sales dashboard that we have for one of our clients. It only shows the closes just because we're just setting it up just as a mock-up, but 60K cash collected, they're going to know their cash collected, they're going to know their AOV, their average order value, they're going to know their close rate, they're going to know their show rate, they're going to know their canceled rate, they're going to know where their calls are coming from, right? So that they can see if the clipping's actually making them money, and they can see all this data. And it's because you need to know the law of constraints, okay? I'm going to explain to you a simple feedback loop that this is going to change your whole entire life right now. Let's say you get input of 100 people that go to your funnel, right? That's just the input. The process is the actual funnel itself. It's this pipe that people go down, okay, to actually go to the money. All right, let's get a blue here. The water represents the traffic, and then your output is your numbers, your data. So then you get some numbers like this, right, where it's like you see your numbers here, and you see, okay, cool, like these are our numbers, right? So we get 100 people to visit the page. Let's say 40 opt-in, 30 watch the VSL, 10 people book, 5 people show, 3 people close, right? And your numbers are probably not going to be this good, but this is just an example until you actually implement some of the stuff I'm talking about. But these are actually solid numbers, except for the show rate's a little bit low. But you can see your numbers, and you can see what you need to fix. What if the people that show up to the calls 2, and you close 1, right? You triple the show rate, you triple your cash collected, and you don't know what you don't know because you're not tracking your numbers. So it's super huge, super important that you're tracking what your numbers are and where people are coming from. Because if most of the people are coming from Instagram, and those are the best closes, the best piffs, double down on Instagram. If it's YouTube, double down on YouTube. And that's what you can see. You can see the specific YouTube video, right? And I know for a fact that that these guys have it dialed in. They can see how much money they made from, let's get some green going, from this YouTube video, from this YouTube video, from this YouTube video, from this YouTube video, from this YouTube video. You get the point. They can see how much money they make from every single YouTube video because they have the system dialed in. And this is exactly what you need, right? That is how Saamir makes $200K a month, and that's how I'd help him optimize his funnel a little bit. If you are a creator or coach looking to start or scale your own coaching program, first link in the description, you can book a free one-on-one call with me. We'll go in-depth into your business, kind of see what you can work on, what you need to improve, and go from there. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.